Hello again. Now, after practicing some exercises about affirmative, negative, and even questions in English in past tense, we need to understand when we need to use the past simple and what conditions or situation requires a simple past tense. Let's start. We use past simple to talk about 1. Actions finished in the past. For example, what you did this morning, what you did yesterday, what you did last week. That's a situation or action finished in the past. Another example, I visited Berlin last week. You already complete that situation. That action was finished and no more. I visited Berlin last week. Number 2, we use past simple when we're talking about a series of completed actions in the past, similar to the routines, but in the past. When you say, for example, I first did this, then I did this. For example, first I got up, then I had breakfast. After that, I start recording this video for you. And in those examples, I use past simple because it's a sequence of different actions, but a sequence in past because it's not happening now and it's not maybe what I always do. It's just what I did this morning. Third, we can use the past simple with the past progressive or past continuous when the past simple interrupted an action which was in progress in the past. For example, they were playing cards when the phone rang. There was an action that was in progress, that was they were playing cards. They were doing an action during a period of time. They were playing cards. But then some action interrupted the continuous one. In this case, when the telephone rang. The telephone rang interrupts they were playing the cards. Maybe you were sleeping when the alarm clock started their sound, for example, or my mother was cooking when I arrived. My mother was cooking when I arrived. Usually, with this type of sentences, we use the word when to indicate what action interrupted a different action that was in progress. I like this image. It says, some days it's hard to find motivation. Some days motivation finds you. I never liked or wanted to make this type of classes, but now I'm motivated too because I need to. I have to do it. In past simple, we need some past time expressions like yesterday, last week, last month, 1 week ago, 3 years ago, yesterday. Remember, past time expressions are always at the end of the sentence. For example, I played soccer yesterday. I designed some slides last week. I started classes at ITSA 2 months ago. I started classes at ITSA 2 months ago. And remember, time expressions like 2 months ago, last month, last week, always at the end of the sentence. But those are not the only ones. Yesterday, yesterday morning, in 1990, remember, years need in to be expressed as time expression. The day before yesterday. The day before yesterday means antes de ayer. So maybe I was sleeping or I slept the day before yesterday until 11 o'clock in March. Remember, months of the year always need in before them. in March, in January, in February, in April. I hope to see you again in April. On Sunday. Days of the week needs on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday. For example, our next class, we are gonna have a class in Teams on Saturday or on Thursday. It depends. When I was born, when I was 7 years old, etc. While she was working. You can find more examples in the reading that was shown at the beginning of the first video. Look again about to that video. You can find it also in YouTube. And remember, read in your book examples about the past simple. And now our final goal. This activity is not mandatory, but is necessary to you as a student to improve, to get better speaking and writing skills. Number one. Now, what I want to do, I want you to practice past simple tense. Choose a member of your family and ask that person questions about his or her life. For example, when he or she was born, what did he do when he was a child, where did he study, different things. Obviously, maybe in Spanish. I just need you to take out some information. Look for some information about that person that you choose. Remember, a member of your family. It's supposed you are not going out your house, so practice with them. Now, write sentences in past tense about that relative, about that family member. So if he told you, for example, if he told you que estudió en el Colegio Simón Bolívar, you can write that in past tense. He or she, my uncle, my brother, studied at Simón Bolívar School. Now, organize or try to write 2 or 3 negative sentences about his or her life. At the end of this task, all the sentences that you could write about that person, organize them in different topics, according to different topics. Maybe their origins, where he or she is from, what he did in his childhood, maybe his work or his studies. Organize two different groups of sentences about the ones that you wrote in step number 2, and try to write paragraphs. At the end, when you have your paragraph, practice it, read it aloud. In order to practice pronunciation and fluency, remember, if you practice English, not only writing is important. I need to try to practice speaking and fluency. Try to speak, to remember, to study that paragraph. Look if the sentences are correct, subject, verb, complement. Use also linkers or linking words like then, after that, at the end, first, as you could see in the sample in the first video. Good luck, and I hope you can enjoy and learn a lot about this class. Bye.